Hello, this is Lumen May with May's Message, County Commissioner for District 3. I want to thank you for joining me on May's Message. Today we're at the Brownsville Community Center where we're doing the vaccines for Escambia County. This has kind of been the epicenter of testing and vaccines and hurricane supplies, and so we're very thankful for the relationship that we've had with community and the hard work of just getting people in the neighborhood and underserved communities the opportunity to get the resources that they need to be safe. Today I wanted to take you inside the community center so you could sit at home and you could watch a little of the operation and meet a couple people who have taken the vaccine. So please just take a few moments. It won't take long to listen to the stories of some people who have taken the vaccine, some with underlying conditions, some are seniors, some faith leaders, but all are believers that this vaccine helps and does not hurt. So thank you for joining me. I'm excited that you taking time out of your busy schedule to once again join me for May's Message. Thank you. Again, I'm sitting here at the Brownsville Community Center that has been the epicenter of the pandemic, of disaster recovery, whether it be testing, whether it be vaccines. We have had a great partnership, and that partnership was kind of put together by the person that I'm sitting here with, Ms. Sandra Donaldson. And so she came up with don't wait, don't congregate, don't wait, vaccinate, and so a lot of things. But it's been a great opportunity of a partnership between the county and community health. Sandra, just a little bit about what you do. I think you guys are not a stranger to Brownsville or to the underserved communities, because this partnership was put together long before the pandemic in trying to look at the health disparities, particularly in underserved neighborhoods.
Right, yes, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about community health and a little bit about what you do. And we're glad to have you. You can turn your badge the other way so they can see your title. All right, well, good. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Commissioner May. Well, Community Health is a community health center. We're a federally qualified healthcare center. Our role in the community is to be able to serve those that may not have access to healthcare. We are federally funded, locally funded, state funded. We try to be able to identify those that may not otherwise receive health care, those that are homeless, they are underserved, they are underinsured, and we try to bridge that gap with health care, social services, mental health, dental. We have a spectrum of health services for the communities that we serve. We just want to be a part of what our community needs.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what's going on with vaccines now, and a little bit about your campaign, and how can people, if they want to get tested or if they want to get the vaccine, how do they do it?
So we started off with Wait, Don't Congregate, which was a very well-received message, and that is following the CDC guidelines, not congregating, social distancing, wearing your mask, hand sanitizing. And as we begin to learn more about the virus and how we can prevent the spread, we were able to deploy the vaccine within the community. Here at Brownsville was our first location of deployment. We want to make sure that the community understands that this virus is going to be around. And the only way to stop the spread is to be able to be vaccinated. At the beginning of the pandemic, there were very little options. There was very little known about the virus. We have since grown for our scientific education, and we know more about the virus now. And we have now deployed vaccines. We now have options with the vaccines. You don't just have to choose one. You can also choose the 1-shot versus the 2-shot. We have lifted some of the barriers to the vaccine, such as age limits, has since lifted from 65 to now 60. And here at Community Health, we have also reduced barriers such as, I can't get a note from my doctor. Well, bring your medication bottle with you. I'm a smoker. Well, bring a pack of cigarettes with you. Whatever we can do to justify your need for the vaccine, we are ready and able to be able to do that for our citizens.
Well, so I think that this has been a model on how to efficiently and effectively distribute testing and the vaccine. And I think that as you look across the country, you've seen all the chaos and disruption, but right here on the west side of Pensacola, we have been able to effectively put out a great program, and so we want to thank Community Health. Because without your effort, without your leadership, we wouldn't be at this point. So thank you for the great work that you're doing at Community Health. And then if there's someone sitting home watching us tonight or today, are there any closing remarks you would say to them?
I would say don't wait, vaccinate. What we do know is that over 500,000 citizens in the United States have died of COVID. The virus is here, it's going to be here. We have to protect ourselves. We have to get back to our new normal. We want to be with our families. We want to start living a healthy life again. So please don't wait, get your vaccination.
Again, this is Commissioner Luman May in District 3. I'm here at the Brownsville Community Center where we've started all of our vaccinations, our testing in response to the pandemic. And very blessed to be here with someone who has gotten the vaccine, who's been tested, who is negative. One of our faith leaders in our community, the Apostle Bobby Watkins, Moments of Truth Outreach Ministries. And welcome, Apostle.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, can you just share, I mean, there are people that are watching us. Can you share your experience? I mean, there are a lot of myths out there that if you take it, you're going to be sick, or, you know, you may die. Can you talk a little bit about your experience on your vaccine?
Sure. First of all, I want to thank you and Community Health for your efforts and getting everyone vaccinated, making sure the resources are there. First of all, people are afraid of the what if, and I'm going to wait and see mentality. And the thing is, COVID is killing people.
Amen.
The vaccine is not. There are two, I've talked to people and they're always saying, someone told me this, someone told me that. And when I ask who the someone is, well, you don't know who that someone told that someone told that someone. Do the research, get the facts. Different news broadcasts have different information, but go to the right source and you get the right information. I had both shots. It was just like taking a flu shot. My arm was a little sore one day, and that was it. When I got my second dose, I went home, just kind of laid around, and but I wasn't sick or anything. So I encourage everyone to get the shot. All my people that are able to get the shots have gotten the shots. My mother-in-law is 87 years old, and she's had both doses. So I highly encourage everyone to get the vaccination shot. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you want to be afraid of something, be afraid of COVID-19 taking you out instead of the shot.
I think that's a good way to end it. If you want to be afraid of something, be afraid of COVID-19, not the vaccine. Again, Apostle, thank you. We know you do a lot of ministry, a lot of outreach, and thank you for your leadership and for you standing here and sharing your story. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us. I'm here with Lynn Hidalgo. But I'm going to call her Lynn because I'm getting the name confused. But we're here in the heart of Brownsville, and as you can see, we have a diverse group of people who are getting the vaccine. And if you're sitting at home and you're on the edge of the table, we were just sharing everyday people's story with you of what the vaccine means and meant to them to come and take it. So, Lynn, welcome to May's Message.
Thank you.
Lynn, just tell us a little bit why you're here and your experience with the vaccine.
Well, being a senior citizen and retired, my husband and I want to make sure we have a long life and able to enjoy what life we've got. And we did have COVID, and it isn't fun.
Right.
It's like a terrible, terrible flu. My husband had it worse than I did, but it's not something you want to experience. And so when the vaccine became available, I have to say that the Florida vaccine line, everybody involved with making sure you're notified that you're eligible, it's outstanding.
Right.
We've gotten texts, messages, phone calls. The health department, everybody was great following through, making sure we knew that we were eligible to come.
Right.
And so we got our first one, and then when it came time for the second one, we were out of town. Just so happens I called today and was able to come here and walk in and get our second one and follow up and make sure we're good to go.
Well, good. Well,
So-
Lynn, in closing, I mean, when you took your first shot, I mean, were you sick or was there any problem?
I felt kind of lethargic,
Right.
but no more than like the gentleman before me said, like a flu shot. My arm felt kind of sore. My husband had more of a reaction, but nothing that put you down.
Right.
And we're just happy that we were able to get it.
Okay. Well, Lynn, thank you for coming to Brownsville. Thank you for sharing your story. I know there are people that are sitting at home and saying, should I or should I not? And so we wanted to today just to go into living rooms and go into communities and let people know that this vaccine is safe. It's been tested, and people are taking their shot and they're still living. So, Lynn, thank you for sharing your story with us.
You're welcome. And I just want to say, I just don't understand why people are so resistant. It's the only way we're going to get rid of this and get back to what we think is our normal life, is to get a vaccine,
Absolutely.
get everybody on board with it.
I like that. That's a good way to end this. Is that we want to get everybody on board because we know you want to go to church, you want to go to the ball games, you want to get back to the grocery stores, and
Want to see
unfortunately,
your grandkids?
want to see your grandkids. I mean, that's all important. You can't do it until we can get this virus under control, and we are still in a pandemic, and so it's still very dangerous.
Thank you for having me.
Again, thank you for joining me again. I'm here with a dear friend of mine and a guy that doesn't mind sharing his story and talking about why it's so important to get this vaccine. I mean, you look a healthy, young African-American male who had cancer. And so when we looked at what we were trying to do to look at health disparities in underserved communities, one of the reasons why we set up right here in Brownsville is for access for friends and family and community and constituents and people like yourselves who may have underlying conditions. And so that is one of our most vulnerable populations of those who have diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cancer, all those things. And today we have someone to share their story that went through some things that I hope none of us have to go through. Charles, welcome.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good. Charles, kind of share your story and kind of share why you got the vaccine.
I am a guy who have multiple myeloma. Always gonna have that as a cancer. Right now I'm about 90% in remission. It was good for me to get the vaccine because it helps me with fighting off any other things that I have that's going on that I'm already fighting medically that I don't need to be worrying about. So I'm glad to get the vaccine. This is my second shot. I believe I'm gonna be good from now on. So I recommend everybody who don't have anything but have any kind of situation like I have to get the vaccine.
Good. Charles, thank you for being here. And I mean, a little bit, somebody sitting there watching at home, did you have any after effects or were you fine after your shot?
Well, my first shot, I just had an aching arm. I don't know, I just got my second shot today, so I believe I'm gonna be fine, but I recommend to everybody, get your shot. You need to get your shot. It's very important. All guys in my age bracket, get your shots. Please, black men, black women, get your shots.
Listen, Charles, thank you for joining us. This has been a great opportunity to bring to you everyday people who go to work or who have underlying conditions or those who have ministries or seniors. And so as you sit home and you're contemplating whether or not I want to get this vaccine, know that it has been tested. The data is in. We have found that it saves lives, and that's the bottom line. So don't wait, vaccinate. We encourage people to not congregate, and even if you have your vaccine, even if you've gotten your shot, please don't go in large groups. Continue to practice wearing your mask, wash your hands, take your hand sanitizers. Again, we're right here in the heart of Brownsville on the west side of Pensacola, coming to you straight from Commissioner Lumen May's office with the May's message saying, don't wait, vaccinate. Please, please be safe. Thank you and God bless.